All right, hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkes, and this is your Best Life Defined. So let's go ahead and get started on this thing. I didn't realize it, but you might already think you're living your best life. And in fact, you probably are. In fact, most people are. I didn't realize it when I named this podcast, but yeah, actually, most people are living their best life right as we speak. So that would kind of make this whole podcast null and void. It would be kind of a useless thing, kind of like a lot of things in life are useless. I was going to say something really derogatory, but I decided to back away from that. I don't need any trouble from anybody. And I was thinking about that, and I thought, well, yeah. And I guess the value or the quality of your life depends on the gauge you set it against. I mean, if your gauge is based on some third world country and where things aren't abundant like they are in your life, then of course you could say, oh, well, no, I'm rocking my life. And even if you set your gauge according to the standard that's been handed to us, and let's face it, your grandparents and your parents are the ones that started this. They were introduced to credit and to the American dream and to the idea of buying things to make you happy and the whole marketing concept. I mean, we've been looking at ads. I don't think there's anyone listening to this podcast who hasn't had the television in their life 100% of their lifetime. And the cell phone, I don't know, cell phones came to me in about 95, 96, something like that. I don't know. But if you're 30 years old, you've had computer, cell phones, the internet, and social media in your life your whole life. So when you look at this idea about living your best life, if you compare it to the social standard or the social narrative about what success is and about what happiness is, you are right there, man. You are right there living your dream. The question comes in, how does it feel? See, my life isn't perfect. My life is far from perfect. And every day I wake up with self-doubt. And even this morning I woke up and I said, you know what? I told my wife, I says, there's a part of me just wants to stop. There's a part of me that just wants to step away from this because it kind of feels like it's futile because I am talking to people who've been indoctrinated, into the ideas that you have about your life. I mean, think about it. If you're like most people, you believe that a home is a great investment. Well, a home is a great investment in the right market if you invest for profit. If you're buying that home for profit, in other words, to buy that home at a discounted price and then maybe fix it up a little bit, sell it for profit. But you do realize that on a 30-year note, if you make $100,000 on your home after owning it for 30 years, you've only made $3,300 a year, a little over that. I mean, you could decide buy a junky car, put rims and tires and a paint job on it and make that much money in profit. So it's not really about the idea that it's a great investment. Now, of course, there's the other stories that we keep getting told about how happy we are. Have you been in the grocery store lately? Take a look around. In fact, when you think about it, this narrative and this comparison to how our lives go and whether we're living our best life or not, if you compare it to what the standard is set, we're actually not living our best life right now. Because living your best life would indicate that you, through COVID-19, you are actually still living it. The life you're living is actually still enhancing how you feel, and it's still energizing you. See, that's where the mistake comes in. I'm not saying you're wrong. If you don't believe what I'm saying, you're not ready for this message, and that's okay. But if you look at your life and you go, God, there's got to be more to life, well, you know what? I think the issue is to not look outward, to look inward. See, I don't know if I was happy. I was happy with my life before we decided to hit the road, but it wasn't because it was amazing or it was this great adventure or I spent a lot of time doing things that inspired me. I was happy with my life because it was a life I was living and I accepted it. And of course, there was the reassurance that it matched the lives of everyone around me. I mean, that's kind of what got me on this whole live your best life thing, is that I couldn't understand for the longest time why it is that no matter who you are or where we come from, we all manage to make the same choices and end up in the same exact position. Now, yes, granted, there are disparities in income. I mean, there are people who make millions of dollars who live this life, and there are people who make, $30,000 a year and live this life. But isn't it funny how the lives all look the same at different levels? Financial levels, right? That's the only difference between us. So how does it feel? I mean, how does it feel to wake up every morning to your life, to do the things you do? If it feels great, if you're energized and excited about it, then that's cool. But if there's one thing that you do that you sit there and go, ugh, this sucks, the next step is to look at it and ask yourself, well, then why am I doing it? If your job sucks, the shit you buy with that money, the stuff you pay for with that money should rock. You should be digging it with that big ass boat you have or the life you're living. That's the gauge, and that's the value we get for the struggle. Because no choice comes without struggle. I live in an RV, comes with struggle. I mean, the choice to live in an RV, while it gives me access to the things in life I want to do, I get to travel and I get to sleep in my own bed and have my own house no matter where I go. There are some downsides to it. It sucks to wake up in the morning and the wind is blowing like hell and it's just windy and cold outside because an RV, the climate control is not there. I mean, it gets cold quick, it gets hot quick, and it's just an uncomfortable situation. But the choice adds value to my life. See, if you take and step away from that public gauge, the gauge about success and happiness and all the pictures and images that are painted for us our entire lives, and you take a look inward at yourself, and then everything you do throughout the day, you ask yourself, how do I feel about this? And I've mentioned the scale of 1 to 10 a number of times if you've listened to any of my podcasts. Gauge everything you do out on a scale of how much you enjoy it, how energizing it is. There's a chance you're probably not actually living your best life. Because it's all by comparison. It's all by the standard that you set for yourself. Am I living my best yet life? Yes, I am. Can it be better? It sure can. Will it get better? Yes, it will, because I keep working towards it. See, it's not even as much about what you're doing right now as where you're going with it, where it's taking you. So what? All right, so you own the house, you have the cars, you have all this stuff, and you're swimming in debt. Your best life and living your best life truly is about the next decision you make. It's about the decision to say, okay, there's something about this that I don't truly embrace. I really don't like the idea of working 40 plus hours a week and then having all my money go out on stuff, on the things it goes out on. I mean, if you're a Better Homes and Gardens person and you love the house and all that goes with it and you get excited like it's Christmas morning every Saturday when you get to mow the lawn and fix the gate and clean the garage, you're probably right on track. But I'm going to tell you, I don't see a lot of people on track. And that's the point. And I'll say this, I don't know how many times I've said it before, but if you don't find this interesting, if you don't find this subject interesting and you think, well, I'm already there, then you are. You're already there. Don't waste your time with this podcast. Don't waste your time listening to me talk about something that you're not ready to hear. Because the truth is, you have been indoctrinated just like I have. Your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your parents all showed you what happiness is. It's the house, the cars, the kids, the debt. But when you think about it, the reason you're not able to go on vacation for 6 months is because you don't have the money and time to do it. Even if you wanted to. So, is the life you're living your best life? Well, if you look at it from the standpoint of, yes, I love my life and you're digging every minute of it, sure it is. But the minute there is one thing that you can't do because of your choices, because of the things you've already done, guess what? It's time for a change. You are no longer living your best life. See, I'm a quitter. I'm a great starter, and I quit quick. This is podcast number 66. And as much as I want to stop on occasions because it seems futile, I keep talking about this same thing. And people keep resisting. They're like, oh, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, and he's not that interesting anyway. Yes, I get it. I'm not interesting. It's not. There's a lot more interesting things in life, but there's probably not anything more important. Because there's going to come a time when you will wake up and you will realize that your future doesn't exist and the only thing you have is your past. When you were months, days, weeks from the end of your life, and then it's when you're going to say, God dang, I wish I'd have fished more. I wish I'd have rowed my kayak. I'd have got a kayak and went along the shoreline on my kayak and watched the fish and looked down into the water at all the different things I have never seen. Sandy and I did it this last week. It's amazing. And all it took was us looking inside ourselves and saying, what do we want to do? What will add value to our life? Who are we? I don't know. I don't have all the answers. In fact, there are times when I don't feel like I have any of them. But I do know a couple things, and I know that it doesn't make any sense for us to spend time working if the work that we do doesn't give us access to the things we love. I'm all for working. I'm a hard worker. I work hard every day, even when I'm retired. I've been retired for 4 years now, and I work hard at it. I'm busy doing things. I'm busy growing. I'm headed in new directions. I'm learning new things, trying new things. And they're all based on who I am. They're all based on who I am on the inside. The question is, are you doing the same thing? I mean, get over it. So I say, well, yeah, you're retired. Of course you can live your best life. Well, no, that's not the ticket. You will work. I work. You will work your entire life, no matter what else you do. The question is, what does that hard work give you access to? Are you waking up excited? Do you wake up energized? Sure, you drive that fancy ass truck and you jump in it, you drive down the street, and in your head you're going, yeah, look at me. Yeah, look at me, I'm a badass. Look at me in my truck, right? No one cares. I don't care what the ads say or the ideas that you have in your head. No one gives two shits about what you own or how much money you have, unless, of course, there's a chance they can get some of it. Face it. You don't have an audience sitting out looking at your fence after you leaning on your fence just talking about how amazing your yard is and how amazing you are for having a great yard. And actually, if you think you're already living your best life, join the crowd, because there are millions of people who are doing exactly the same thing as you're doing. Is it amazing? You can call it amazing if you want, but I'm calling bullshit on that one, because I see people. I look at the faces of people as they walk by. I look at the stress on their faces as they're looking at prices in the grocery store, and they realize, let's see, I've got to choose. Guess it's chicken again because I can't afford beef. Guess it's this because I can't afford that. Doesn't sound like you're living your best life. But I don't know, I've been wrong before. So let's just say that you are interested in moving forward. It's a simple process. If you want to know if you're living your best life, take a look at the list of things you do every day and ask yourself how you feel about them. If they don't energize you on a scale of 1 to 10, if they're 5 or below, you need to find some new things to do. You need to find some new things. You need to get that average up. That means if you're running at a 5, a solid 5 on all the things you do, then you need to throw a 10 in there somewhere. You need to throw an overnight backpacking trip with the person you love in there because you love the outdoors. You just haven't had time to do it. You need to throw in a mountain bike ride that's down a steep ass grade where you're scared to death but you're excited at the same time, so you can get that average up. That's where your best life comes in. And if you're not growing, if you're not headed in a direction, guess what? You're not doing shit. You're not doing shit. I just say that right out because that's the truth of it. Everybody sits around, they go, I'm doing my best. I'm living my best life. Well, sure you are. According to someone else's gauge. It's kind of like wearing someone else's shoes. Yeah, these shoes are great. Yeah, I'm going to be like that guy. No, the guy you need to be like is you. The gal you need to be like is you. Don't like being told this? Maybe you're not ready for this story. The point is, someone somewhere made a decision a long time ago that instead of working their ass off every day so they could own a bunch of stuff that's stacked up in dusty boxes in the garage, they said, I'm not going to own anything except a truck and a boat. And I'm still going to work my ass off because owning a boat and an old truck is work. And I'm going to work my ass off doing whatever I have to do, odd jobs to pay for my way so I can spend winters in the Caribbean hanging out on my boat. Or maybe get an odd job somewhere, maybe helping some guy repair whatever they repair when you live in those type of areas, working on cars or whatever. But the point is, the struggle you face, those things you have to do to live your life, are they delivering a life to you that makes you go, yeah? That's the point. Come on. I'm not apologizing. It's the truth. I don't see. We can pretend all we want about how amazing our lives are on social media. Your life isn't amazing. You're struggling. If COVID-19 had an impact on you, you may not be working. You don't have any money in the bank, and even for the people who stay working, how many of us who continue to work or continue to have an income through COVID-19 actually have more than 6 months of income in the bank? Can actually make a decision on the fly and change directions midstream? You can't. You got that house, that investment. You have all that stuff. You have all that time committed. Even in our relationships. Oh, I'm living my best life. Really? Are you living your best life? Every time you talk about that thing you love to do, she gets mad. Every time she talks about that thing she loves to do and wants to go do it, you get mad. There's never enough money, never enough time, and it's always someone else's fault. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe you're different. Maybe you do wake up every day with a whole list of things that you're excited about. Maybe the reason you have trouble sleeping at night is because you're excited about what the next day is going to bring. If that's the case, damn, keep doing it. But that's a big bill to fill. I mean, that's a tough one to match up to, especially when you're living the same exact life as I used to live. And you're living the same exact life as your friends and family and everyone you know. And yet we continue to do the same thing and expect a different outcome. Oh, I'm going to be happy now. This will be great. I'll do this and I'll do that. And by the time you figure it out, you might just be too old to ever do any of it. And that's the concern right there. You're going to wait? You're going to wait till you retire to have a great time? I don't know. I know this sounds like an ass chewing, and I guess in a way it is, because I'm working hard, and I'm working hard because you deserve to see the truth about what your choices have brought you. I mean, your choices have brought you debt. I mean, when is it a good idea to owe anyone money? Oh, hey, you got a mortgage. All right. Got a mortgage. Really? I don't know. You're probably not going to like this one. I wish I could make everything wonderful and just entertain you and make you feel good about your life. But I'm looking around. I don't see it. I don't see it. One bump in the road, 3 months out of work, and the whole world has come to an end. There's something wrong with that. But I could be wrong. Maybe you are living your best life. Well, we'll think about that one. But until then, just keep working, keep doing it, keep looking at it, keep asking yourself questions about it. Ask yourself why you do what you do. You'll find the answer. The question is the answer based on what you believe and what you love, or is it based on ideas that have been given to you? I don't know. I'm going to keep it going. I'm not giving up on you. Don't give up on yourself. Keep looking for it. If you're not growing, you're dying. So keep that in mind. I thought I'd explain myself. It sounds like I'm rambling, feels like I am sometimes, but you know what? I don't know. I've been through a lot, and I shouldn't be living this life. And because I am, I want to give back. Maybe you'll learn something from this one. If not, then just keep listening. Eventually, I'm going to hit on something where you're going to say, wait a minute. I get it now. Oh, I get it now. And when you come back, I'll be here, because this is what I do right now. So anyway, until next time, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.